What's going on? Merry Christmas. You're hanging out in the kitchen. This is actually the kitchen that Pop and I and Munchkin built because we put everything in. We changed this whole kitchen about, what, 4 years ago? 4 years ago. It's been fun. Hello, hello. I want to say hi to everybody who's popped up on the screen. Sue, Pat, Becky, Joyce, Elwanda from Louisiana. Thank you very much for joining us today. Pat, Heather, Mimi, Loretta, Becky, Nancy, Claire, Robin, Jerry, Lynn, and Karina. Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. Happy to see everybody here. Okay, so we're making butter tarts. People are like, what are butter tarts? Should I show them first?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, show you first. Behind you, keep going. I didn't want it too low because Sophie would have thought it was a snack. I'll show you. Thank you very much. These are butter tarts. What it is, it's a pastry concoction. I used a tender flake. You can use, there's lots of varieties out there. There's Crisco. This is a pure lard, okay? So that's what I use. That gets you your pastry, and I literally just followed the recipe right on the package. I figured they know best. So listen to them. And it turns out all the time, and Pop loves it. It's nice, it's flaky, it's light, it's not tough, but that all depends on how you work it too, okay? So anyways, they're like a little pastry concoction. I'll put it here. And then you put a little brown sugar, butter, vanilla, egg, sort of mixture inside of it, whether you want raisins or not. You can have nuts in there if you like. We don't have nuts in the house normally because I'm allergic. So, you know, there's peanut butter for Sophie, but that's pretty much about it. And other than that, there's really no other nuts. And then it just cooks and bubbles and, yeah, gets in your face and in your mouth and in your belly and fills you up. And I know I said your name. So is that in the way if I put that over there? No? All right. Well, I'll just leave that there then. Okay. Perfect. Hope it's not in anybody's way. And, oh, VJ Casman, that's Victoria. Yes. Okay, Lady Kopek, Linda, and Steph. Thank you very much for showing up. Sorry to Mom and all her furry friends. What? Sorry, what? What did I do? Oh, all the quilters. Good. Hello, Liz. You watching with your daughter? I hopefully you actually get a chance to make some butter tarts. They're really easy. They're really, really honest to goodness. In fact, Clive wants his TV time, but I'm not giving it to him because my hands are clean and I want to get into the dough. So for one batch, okay, what I made there was a double batch, but I also make my tarts a little bit bigger. It's whatever fits in my shell, my my muffin cup tin sort of thing, or a pastry tin if you have them like that. Okay, so you need 1.5 cups of brown sugar, okay, right? 2 eggs, 1/2 cup of butter. Okay, hold on. Brown sugar, butter, 2 eggs, and then your raisins. And you can either mix your raisins in with your gooey concoction, or you can put them a little bit on the bottom of the pastry and then put your gooey concoction on top. That's what I normally do, because then you can kind of control how many raisins are each one, because I've been there before and all of a sudden you get to the bottom and there's no raisins, you just got goo. So this way I can kind of evenly distribute. You can either overload it, whatever. If you don't want them as gooey, then I suggest putting a tiny little bit of square of pastry right on the top, and that just kind of makes it like a little, like a little raisin pie or a little raisin tart sort of thing, and it just all the kind of goo sticks around the pastry. It's really whichever way you like it. There's a couple of ways, right? Ooh, they're super gooey's, you're wearing it, you know, those sometimes are the best. All right, and then just 2 tablespoons of milk, and that all gets mixed together, and you put that in your tart shells, okay? And it usually makes about 32-inch tarts. You put it at 400 degrees for anywhere from 12 to 18 minutes, depending on how thick your pastry is and how, how you just keep watching it. I'd say 12 minutes, you're good, and then keep watching it after that. You don't want them any more crispier than, I'd say, like, this one here sort of thing. Like, that's about as crispy as I think you'd want it.
Can you substitute cranberry raisins or dried blueberries?
I wouldn't see why not. In fact, I was thinking of that earlier. Why don't I toss a bit of cranberries in there? Because you can put chocolate chips, you can put cranberries, or you put, I use sultan raisins. You could use any type of raisin if you want them to be, Sometimes if you're really, really dried raisin, maybe hydrate them a little bit with a little bit of water and then put them in the bottom, that sort of thing. You know, there's many different, you know, options to work with for sure. Yes, it's really short this time. The lady was very chatty, and I think she got a little carried away, but it's okay. You know what? It grows. I'm not worried about it. I got it done last weekend, but I wore the hat for the weekend project, so you didn't see it. Opened my surprise package this morning. So pretty. We'll keep in touch. Oh, you got it already? Oh, aren't you lucky? They didn't say it was going to be there until after Boxing Day or even Boxing Day. I'm so glad you like your little lap quilt. Aw, thank you very much. I had a lot of fun. You know, I love making stuff for people and knowing that you're going to get it, you know? Like, that's fantastic. Oh, you like the hair? Thank you. It's short. Very cute. Excellent. Okay. All right. Well, because I've touched my hair and touched tarts and paper and stuff, I'm just going to wash my hands real quick. And then we will progress on making some pastry. And then we'll make the goo. But you do have to let the pastry hang out in the fridge to chill. So you're just going to have to hang out. I have one already ready to rock and roll here. So when we get to that point, okay, we're good. That's the new fridge. Remember the old one I was whining about? That's the new one. The old one was black. I like the split door. I didn't think I was going to. It was popularly wanted, that one. Okay, so for the pastry, I have, I'm just going to read off what it says right here. It says, for tender flake, perfect pastry in 6 easy steps. And I kid you not, it is 6 easy steps. Okay, sorry. It yields 3 9-inch, 23 centimeter double crust pies or 6 pie shells. So, you know, you can have 3 apple pies, or with the top and the bottom, or you can have, like, you know, 2 apple pies and 2 pumpkin pies. You know, it does a lot. It does a lot of tarts too. So, and the fact that I made a recipe already of this morning so I could show you the tarts and the thing, we're going to have lots. I may even make a couple of pies and freeze them. So anyways, 6 cups of cake and or pastry flour. Okay. That is 1.5 liters, or 5.5 cups of all-purpose flour, which is 1.4 liters, which is what I have here. I just use all-purpose flour. That's because I'm either making bread or cookies or brownies or whatever. I don't really have a lot of space to keep a lot of flours in here, so we have like whole wheat, we have oats, ground oats, and then, you know, normal regular unbleached flour. Just all-purpose flour, and then salt. And then you have your 1 pound. This is 1 pound of your lard or tender flake or whatever it is you want to use. 1 tablespoon of vinegar, which I just put in this cup here, just so I didn't have we have a big jug, so it was easier to handle. And 1 egg, which I have here from our fresh chickens, or from our chickens that we have, and it's fresh. And then I need cold water, which I can just get from the fridge. And that is it, okay? That's literally all that you need. Hello, cat lady. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Elizabeth. Thank you guys, everybody, for showing up. We're very happy to see you here today. Okay, it says mix together flour and salt, which I have done. I have mixed together the flour and the salt. I didn't want to forget because I put it on the counter over here so I wouldn't forget to mention that to you. I've already put the salt in. And then you cut in the tender flake lard with pastry blender or 2 knives. I use my potato masher. It does the same trick as a pastry blender. What you're doing is you're just pretty much pushing the fat in with the flour and making it pop up on the other side. And then once it gets to a point where, you know, it's like really coarse oatmeal, I kind of get in with my hands and make it like a little bit better. But you don't want to break all those pieces up like any dough, even like with butter and pastries and French pastries and stuff. You don't always want to break up the butter completely because it gets in between the layers, and that's what gives the flavor. And you know, you want some sort of texture there, okay? And then what you do is in a 1 cup, which I have right here, I will add the vinegar and the beaten egg, and then fill it up to 1 cup. And add that to the mixture, and then mix like crazy. Make a ball, split it into 2, and then you wrap them and put them in the fridge to chill. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. So let me just move this other stuff out of the way because I don't want to get confoozled here. And I always, with fresh hens, even though we don't have a rooster, but, you know, sometimes, you know, one got missed for a couple of times, and you just want to make sure that it's a nice fresh egg. Okay, so that's okay. Put that in my 1 cupper. I'm going to need this again when I go to do the goo, so I'll put that off to the side here and just get rid of my shells. Okay. We usually recycle the shells and put them in the garden. We crunch them really, really good. Custard and a truffle. Yummy. Hello, Heather. Welcome. We're making butter tarts. We're making butter tarts. Okay. So, I put my egg in here. I want to lightly beat it. This is one of those very handy-dandy measuring cups from Pampered Chef. You can do the liquid on the one side and the solid ingredients on the other. So I just lightly mixed it, okay? Okay, and then I'm going to put 1 tablespoon of vinegar. If you don't have vinegar, lemon juice is a fantastic substitute, okay? Put that in there. Okay, move this off to the side. I don't want to get confused. Be thinking it's a wee quick shot of vodka, and woo! I'd be like, ah, pickled. All right, now we're just going to mix that, and then we're going to add cold water to top it off to the 1 cup mark, okay, which is right there. I'm going to fill cold water from the fridge, and it's going to fill right up to there. Okay. Change it to water, not to cubed. Just push the button and fill her up. Oops, wear it. That's always good. I got a little bit higher than the 1, but that's okay. Don't add it all. Just make it show it even says there. Just make sure you add it till it's all stick together. But we still have to add the tender flake part, okay? So we'll take this, and it's still got its little plastic seal. Okay. Hello. Hello, Auntie Julie. Merry Christmas. We're making butter tarts. Da-da-da, butter tarts. Yes, we are. Da-da-da. Yeah, so we're making the dough for the butter tarts. Hi, Sophie. This is usually where her TREATs kind of hang out. So I think the fact I'm hanging out in the zone is like she's thinking she's going to get something. And I just cut it up to a bit of thinner pieces. So when I get it into the flour and mix it up a bit, each little chunk's kind of going to get covered in flour. Okay. And don't throw this away. That's a perfectly good sheet of, you know, plastic parchment. So... All right, so just chop this up in here just a smidge, just to get some of those pieces broken down. And this is where if you have you can either just use 2 knives and go like this and chop it all up like crazy. I'm sorry, like this. Over here, chop it up like crazy. Or you can use a pastry knife, which has got, actually it shows you a little picture here what a pastry knife looks like. Anyway, show you there. And it's just got the little blades underneath. And you just chop, chop, chop. Okay? It's not that like there's knives or anything. It's just little wires, but it still cuts through whatever it is you're trying to cut through. And this is just room temperature. You don't keep this stuff in the fridge. Just keep it in the counter on, you know, in your pantry. I did mix my salt thoroughly before adding my pastry here. And you can use this knife to help clear off the bottom as it comes. So I'm just dipping it in the bottom of the flour and just pushing it down. Just kind of blending those ingredients together. There we go. And wrap. The paper. Oh, yeah, that you can too. Yeah, that's perfect. Recycle, reduce, reuse. There's lots of things for it. For sure. Like I said, this makes a lot. It gives you up, you could do 3 pies for top and bottom or 6 just bottoms. I mean, so you can mix it up. You can have a few different types, you know. If you maybe didn't use full covers, you can use lattice tops and, you know, just pieces of, you know, leaves or berries or whatever to fill in the tops of some. You could probably make it go a little bit farther. But just mix it all up. They are good. They're very delicious. It must be a Canadian thing. Some recipes actually even call for either corn syrup, so it makes me think maybe it's even a southern thing as well, because, or, you know, a prairie thing, because corn is aplenty, or maple syrup too. So corn syrup and maple syrup, or sometimes add other added ingredients. There's places up here, it's called Butter Tart Trail. People go and try all the butter tarts, and there's been like famous contests and stuff. And, you know, my neighbor a couple doors down, she's quite famous for her butter tarts. May have to scoot one over to her. She makes really good ones. They're tiny though. They're only like 1 biters.
So Liz asked what tender flake is.
Tender flake is a pure lard. I'm not sure if it even says anything else on here. Ingredients: lard, citric acid. For best results, keep at room temperature. It's pure lard. So I'm thinking it's probably vegetable, maybe animal. I'm not 100%. Doesn't say that on there. It's probably vegetable. No? It's animal? Is it a mineral? Are we playing a game? Animal, mineral. All right, so you just kind of mix it around. I don't know where my pastry knives went. You know, I haven't used them in a while, as Pop would attest to. I haven't made butter tarts in a while, so I'm not saying they're labor intensive. They're just, it does take time. It does take time. Okay, so that's kind of pretty much where I want it to be before I get my hands in there. So weird not sewing. Lard is animal fats. Yeah, that's what I thought. Right, that's right. Thank you. And there's vegetable oils too, but you know, it has to be done with a lard. So, but I think Crisco is a vegetable shortening, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Anyways, we like this one. And we eat animals. We're okay with that. Not Sophie's or Clive's though. Okay, so you get in here and you make sure it kind of looks like coarse oatmeal. Okay, you just keep mixing it a little bit together. Make sure the flour is all incorporated with that. Googled Amazon. And dough does freeze very well. And you can make pies pretty much in an instant. You get it up to room, not necessarily room temperature. You put it in the fridge, and then you can start rolling it from there. Okay. So this is kind of what the consistency you would like to have it at. Okay. Just so you can see. It's just like oatmeal. Hopefully you can see that a little bit better. Do you like all the animations and the colors all around the outside? That's all Munchkin. Oops, losing my dough here. We need that. The counters are all clean, don't worry. We scrubbed it many times. Just to make sure. Okay, yeah, so mix that all in there. And then we take this mixture here with the egg, water, and vinegar. And you're just going to want to kind of do a little bit, mix it up, and then just until it starts to form a ball, which to me is depending on the humidity of the day and where you are and the moisture needed by your flour, you know, and the sun in the sky and all that sort of fun stuff. It could take more, it could take less. So that's why it's a little easier to add a little bit at a time. Just till you get it all mixed. Okay. I think that's going to make a good ball there. So put that off. If we need it, I know where some is. Okay. It's good. Sorry, Lovey. Getting in your space. All right. I'm just going to want to form it into a ball. can either just work it inside the bowl so you don't make too much of a mess on the counter, but it's up to you. Sometimes you're space restricted and that's all you have is the space to work in is inside the bowl. So and the point is not to overwork it. You don't have to knead it like 20 times as you do for bread and that sort of thing. It's a tender pastry. It's kind of like the more you leave it alone, the better it's going to taste, sort of thing. Okay, so you take it, and this is where you put your half, and then you take this and put it in under 3, and so on and so forth. It's up to you. Get your chunks out. Waste not, want not. Get it all. Could make a half a tart. Okay. And then you just wrap those. Okay, knowing you could probably put them in the freezer and say, you know, okay, this is going to do, between this, I'm going to get 2 pies, you know, or I'm going to get, you know, 24 butter tarts or something like that. So just kind of form them around a bit. Okay. Got some saran wrap here. Just cover them and then just put them in the fridge. They have to chill. I think they say minimum half hour to whatever, you know. But the dough does need to kind of settle up. The fat needs to solidify. Needs to be chilled. Kind of give them a little bit of a squish. And, you know, and then from here I'd put them in like in a Ziploc freezer baggie and then stick them in the freezer if you wanted to keep them more of an extended period of time, right? It's up to you. You have options. Because this dough, when you know, there's no point making a half a batch, really, because you can use it for, you know, turkey pot pie and beef pot pie and all that sort of fun stuff. It's just, it's not a sweet dough, it's just it's a dough. It's a flaky dough. Okay, so I'll take this one out, and that's pretty much what it looks like. Okay, put that there. Let me just wash my hands real quick here. Get my dough out from under my nails. Chickens don't want to come out today. I can see them from this window. In fact, when we first got the chickens, I called this my chicken window instead of my kitchen window. That's the joke. It's mom's chicken window. Okay, all right. This can go in here. Alrighty. Now let's do the goo part. The goo part we need. Tree is pure lard or crisp and dry. What?
Oh, they're talking about lard.
Oh, okay. Aha. All right. This is a 1 pound butter. It's Gailey butter here. And on our butter packages, we have measurements of 1/4 of a cup, 1/4 of a cup, 1/2 a cup, and 1 cup. So that helps when you're measuring and you're baking and stuff like that, because they put it in such a lovely square choppable form. And just kind of unwrap it like a present. Better get some practice in. And then I'm just going to use its little side measurement to make sure I'm getting my 1/2 cup that I need. Okay, so it's 2 1/4. This one I happen to get salted, but that's, to me, I just don't add the salt to the recipe. So that's me, because we always use salted around the house, and when you get a thing of unsalted, it tastes a little wonky. Okay, so put that in there. That's 1/2.
Jerry then wants to create, commit sacrilege and use prepared pastry pie.
What? You can, though. You can. That's up to you. Okay, I don't need the butter anymore, so I'm just going to put it back in the fridge. Okay, so to this, my 1/2 cup of butter, I want to add my 1½ cups of brown sugar. Okay, and I just put my little cup in the bag and just scoop and then just do a little press with my hand. To me, that's like, it's lightly pressed, you know, so, you know, lightly packed. And then same when we only need about 1/2, do the same thing. Yeah, that looks good. A little more, a little less ain't gonna kill you. All right, so put that off to the side. Put it in pop zone. Okay, now I want to take this over to the mixture to kind of cream those two together. So it's going to get a little noisy here for a second. And we'll just move that over here. I have a KitchenAid stand mixer. This one is about 12 years old. Just kind of want to cream those two together before you add the eggs and the vanilla and the milk, okay? Just mix them up a bit. Okay, let that do that thing. And then I'm going to take my 2 eggs and my 2 tablespoons of butter, or sorry, 2 tablespoons of milk, and I'm going to go put it in with that mixture, okay? And of course, I want to check each egg before I add it. You should, no matter what, whether you get store-bought or otherwise, or you get farm fresh. All right. There we go. 2 eggs, 2 things of butter, 2 things of milk. And we just need some vanilla. And I'll scrape the side of the bowl. Oops. Whoops. That's okay. Scrape, add the vanilla, and do another mix. And vanilla is completely optional to you. It adds another depth of flavor to me, so. Just mix that up, just nicely incorporated together. Looking good. Doesn't take too long. I know it's noisy, I'm sorry. Okay. There we go. Should get all the goodness off the whisk. All right, now it looks like that. Okay, when it's all incorporated. Okay, just a sugary, gooey, yummy deliciousness. Okay, now this could be a filling to a couple. You want to try like a raisin pie or something like that. That would be a filling, or a raisin walnut pie. That's a great little filling, and then, you know, put all the rest in there, right? So, okay, so just make sure you get anything that was up off the bottom. Okay, and that's your goo. What I call my butter tart goo. That goes in the shell. Okay, so now let's get to the other part here. Get that out of the way. Okay, you can tell this is chilled. Little bits of bobs. I got a little bit of flour here if you happen to need a little bit of flour. You can always reuse your plastic wrap, okay? Let's see, where's my rolling pin? So what's everybody up to? And Bailey's Irish cream. Why not? Be festive. I wonder if you'd be able to taste it. Will you be printing out the recipe for those of us that joined a little late? Yeah, I can. We can make sure it's in the descriptions below after the video. I can read it off to you if you like. It's very simple. It's really simple. All right, just shaking a little bit of flour with my fingertips onto my surface. Getting a bit of leaven on both sides of my dough. Munchkin went and found these very cute and festive muffin cups that I really like. So aren't these adorable? Ho, ho, ho. So we'll put those in our little tray for sure. And I find it's better just to kind of work front to back, flip, front to back, flip. You know, just finished visiting the elderly friends. Needed to wrap gifts. Oh, very good. Fun stuff. I wasn't feeling too hot this morning, so I had to cancel tea with my girlfriend. We were going to go out and have a quick tea, and she's got a couple of young munchkins, so I'm sure her house is very excited right now. So, what is he, almost 3 and almost 7, I think? So, yeah. So, I'm sure it's quite ecstatic around her place. You don't need a lot of flour, just enough to prevent it from sticking to your ironing board, also known as rolling pin. And you don't want it too thick. I cut these just so they were almost thin enough to see, and look how much they puffed up, right? So you don't want it too thicker, or if you like thick pastry, that's completely up to you, right? Can't really see that with the shadow. That's okay. Anyways, you'll see. So not too thick and definitely not too thin, or you're going to lose all your goos. Okay. And the oven is ready to go. So as soon as we get them cut and filled, they'll be in the oven and ready to bake. Okay. And sometimes if you can't find a big enough cutter, I take what I can find is what I like is a good size, and then I roll it out a little bit more on all sides. Hello, Angie. How's your wrist? I left you a voicemail message. I don't remember when it was, though. I'm sorry. I was crazy busy with this last week before Christmas. But Angie hurt herself. So hopefully she is feeling much better and is on the mend. But unfortunately, she has an allergy to a lot of pain medication, so it's a lot of suffering, unfortunately. It doesn't get any better than that. Okay, now I think that's kind of where I'm liking it. And before I get started on that, because I want to put them right into my muffins, my muffin cups. I use muffin cups for one, as you can tell, when the butter tarts, on some of them, I'm not saying all of them, but as you can tell, they kind of overflow a little bit. And that's going to stick to the bottom of the pastry and then stick to the bottom of your container. So better to put it in a shell, a nice little paper shell. You can spray the paper and then they still get everything. They get to enjoy everything still. It's not stuck. Because a lot of those would get sacrificed to the chef. And I don't want that. One-handed. Covered in slobbery oh, that's awesome. Something is wrong with the video? I don't know. Oh, I'm over here. I'm not far. I'm just putting shells in the holders here. Okay. And you can use white, blue, purple, doesn't matter. They're just muffin cups. So, and they're good to give away. They give a little holder for the butter tarts. Oh, we needed some more. There they are. Just a couple more. Perfect. There. Oh, that feels like we got more than one in there. There we go. Sometimes you can tell. Yes, you can. Like that one. And probably that one. Because I had enough. See, they were just stuck together. All right, stay over there, Mr. Snowman. Okay, and then this is just a canola oil, you know, cooking spray, non-stick, cholesterol-free, used for all styles of cooking. So I just put a little, like, leaven in each cup to make sure that my pastry and goo are not going to stick to it and you can peel it off. Okay, so now, hand out cookies and bread at church and some neighbors with my Christmas photo card this morning. Aw, very nice. Excellent. Now Sue's a Shazam girl. Who else is going to be a Shazam? Speaking of shirts, we have the Mom and Pop Quilt Shop Mafia shirt. We got some merchandise. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to cut 24 out. They don't have to be perfect. In fact, there's times I've actually just square cut and folded the squares into the cup holders, and that made very funky pastry tops, and it didn't matter. Everybody ate it. And that's what the fridge icicle says. All right. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, well, we'll do one at a time because we may have to. Okay, so now you have your little square, or your circle, circle of pastry. And then because it's a little thick, okay, I take it and I just give a little leaven one way, pressing it, and a little bit more the other way, and just thin it out a little bit more, okay? It's almost like when you're making pierogies. Have you ever made pierogies? Maybe that's another one we'll do in the new year. Love making pierogies. Love eating pierogies. Pretty much more than making them, but then you can add your own. You can have like cheese and spinach and onion, or you can have like mushroom and whatever. There's the joys of pierogies is limitless. All right, so I'm just making each one a little bit bigger and tucking it in my shells. Okay, just like that. Okay, just snuggling them in there. Making sure that I'm trying to hit my pastries at least hitting the bottom. Okay. Yeah, this is a kitchen that Pop and I and Munchkin pretty much rebuilt. The one that was in this house was probably literally from 1955, home built, want to be a carpenter sort of try. And it had a horrible layout. So my eldest sister works for Kitchen Craft Canada, so Pop and I pretty much saved for 5 years to get something done with this kitchen, to do something better with it, that's for sure. So with the help of my sister and a lot of labor on our part, and we got her done, and I couldn't be more happier. I love it. I love it. Love the island. We still have yet to get some bar stools, but you know, we have a couple of really awesome bikes and we don't really want them outside, so they end up staying pretty much close to us. So as you all saw, my orange one was a lot in videos throughout the spring and summer and into early fall. And Pops was in here on the other side. Mine is a little bit longer, and it's a little bit more difficult to get around and maneuver around with it because it's got the wagon style to it. So, oh, that's okay. Even though that ripped just a smidgy, that's okay. Tuck it in there. It's going to get loved by somebody. All right, got 3 more to do. The one thing you don't want to do is overwork your pastry. So I do this one more time with this, and then after that, I'd go put it back in the fridge for half hour, let it rest again, let all those fats solidify back again, and then work from there. I usually would end, if I'm making like tarts galore, anything that gets left over gets combined into one package, and then I end up making a pie after, you know, a couple days later. So. And the goo stuff can hang out in the fridge for like 2 weeks, and then you pretty much have to use it. But like I said, if you don't want to use it for raisins, you can use it for walnuts. You can use it for pecans or cranberries or dried raspberries and strawberries and blueberries, whatever. It's the same sort of tart principle. You're just, you know, it's a dehydrated fruit and some sweet. You can't go wrong with that. Okay, so because I'm here and I don't want to waste what I got going on, I am going to do my 2 trays, okay? So before I put them in the oven, so be patient. Hope you're okay with hanging out for a little bit longer. 18 days so far. What's going on? Being really impatient, hubby has... Oh. I know. Actually, when I ordered... I've talked about it a lot when I was working on the North and South quilt, that I got like 4 kits or 5 kits and before we even got the long arm, and they were on sale for 50, like 75% off. That was the only reason why I bought them off of Craftsy. So I ended up getting like 5 kits for around $500. And to me, that was a fantastic deal because some of those kits were really huge, like the cotton candy and the North and South. And of course, we boarded out the North and South a little bit more. So I understand the whole waiting for the kits. It's like, I was very excited to get mine. I'd never had a kit before. So it was so cool to have everything there for you. And you still get extra bits of fabric. Like the good kits give you extra bits of fabric. Like I could have made a bag still out of both kits, like both the North and the South and the cotton candy for sure. You know, and a nice bag, like, you know, a half decent bag. Okay, that's not big enough in there. See, I was almost going to try and squish that in there, but then I'm going to cut it off there and cut off there. I got dough. I can make some more. Okay, so that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So we only need 2 more out of those. That's okay. We can get that. Okay. And if you just want to do 24 tarts, and then you got enough for a pie shell, like with your dough afterwards. I mean, you know, out of the, you know, that's pretty much 1/2. I separated those 2 dough chunks. The one I made this section of the tarts into, and this one here right now, it was into the 2 sections. So you can do like 48 tarts and a pie, and I bet, because I have a chunk, probably about the same size of that in here. Oh, here it is, hide behind butter. So that was from the first batch. So, you know, that's still pie and a half there, pie with a lid, you know what I mean, or lattice or whatever, you know, so there's still lots there. Okay. If you want to mix it up, people don't like butter tarts, or make blueberry tarts instead or something. It is a very busy day, Sandra. Everybody all over the place. I can't imagine what it is like out there in traffic. I mean, Pop and I kind of scooted out yesterday morning only because I finally got a new phone. And I apologize to anybody who sent me any emails or texts or anything like that over the past like 4 months. My phone's been so wackadoodle-ish. But I think it knew it's time. For some reason, me and technology have about a 2-year sort of span, and then it seems to go wonky. So it's always been that way with watches, you know, anything with anything like that. For some reason, me and electronics. So, oh, I needed to make 2 more. Whoopsies. I gotta roll that out and cut 2 more. Forgot. We can do it. I won't forget. Happy birthday, Claudette. Aw, happy birthday to you. Hope you're having a great day. I know what it's like to have your birthday so close to Christmas. Well, obviously yours is way closer than mine, but hopefully you still get very spoiled. And may peace and love be in everybody's heart. Okay, almost there. We almost get to put our goo in. And then you get to go into oven. Okay, speaking of the oven, when I get there, it went on a self-clean the other day and then went kaboom. And I was like trying to tidy up all my quilts, put them in a bucket, because I realized I have a lot of quilts and that we've worked on this past year. I've got quite a little collection going on, and I can't wait to the end of next year. I'll have this awesome trunk show. So I'm like, and I heard this, like, I don't know, to me it sounded like beads were falling from something, you know. I thought, oh, well, what, you know, did my weighted beads get knocked over? Like, where, because I was at the, pretty much the other side of the house. And no, it was the tempered glass. It's like our stove, our oven fronts have 3 panes of glass in it, okay? And it has an inner, a middle, and an outer. And the one in the middle went kaboom. Just kaboom. Shattered everywhere. And it took like a couple hours to clean up, because every time you opened up the door, glass would keep falling out, hence the tape. I didn't want glass to continuously fall and fall and fall. So, you know, we sucked it up and kept shutting and closing the door and trying to get all the rest of it out. And of course, you know, it being Christmas, and, you know, they can't get a technician out into the new year, and possibly no fixie until February. But thank goodness we had the smarts when we redid the kitchen to put in a double oven. Or we would not be doing this. We would have had to cancel the live stream today and obviously done some sewing instead, because the kitchen was kapooed. All right, so those are the last 2 that I needed to fill my 24 tarts, or my shells for my tarts. Okay, and I'll show you my shells as soon as I get this last one done here. I think cranberries and raisin combination, or cranberry raisins and blueberry, would be, oh, that would be like to die for. Okay, and like I said, you can use some of the bit of that leftover pastry to put a little dollop in the center if you want. I may do that, may grab some and just make little circles or squares or whatever. Okay, and then we're just going to fill those. Okay, with the goo. Raisins first and then the goo. Okay. All right, so I have 2 cups of raisins here, and I'm pretty much going to try and make sure they get evenly distributed. So you kind of put in about a tablespoon, about. Need a little extra for that one. And this is where, you know, the blueberries, cranberries, whatever, or your nuts, whatever nuts you like. Like I said, we don't do nuts here. Well, they try hard not to anyways. I mean, sometimes I get them as gifts and stuff like that, especially being a crossing guard. You get all sorts of knicky knacks, and I got some peanut butter cookies from someone. And as soon as I opened the tin, I'm like, oh, there it is. That's bonus for Munchkin. He loves peanut butter cookies. And you got the beautiful tin to go with it, so, because it was a nice see-through one. It's very nice. Snowman, see-through snowman tin. And all likes me snowmans. All right. Now you don't have to use all 2 cups, because this is a, you know, a recipe that does about 30 tarts, right? And if you wanted your raisins to be in the goo before you put them in the shells, that's up to you. I'm just making sure that every shell has some raisins. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. Sorry. Okay, filled raisins on the bottom. Okay. Dried apple. Dried apple would be tasty. Dried apple and raisins with maybe a little bit of cinnamon. That sounds pretty good. I think so. Merry Christmas, Beverly. They are scrumptious. We've had to like contain ourselves. I've had one just to taste test because I had to make sure. And then I had to get like a second opinion. So Pop taste tested and it was a-okay. Okay. So I just have a few raisins left over. No big deal. Now I take just a regular tablespoon, which I forgot to grab. So excuse me to grab my tablespoons here. And then you just spoon the mixture out. This is where it gets sticky and a wee bit messy. And then from here, they're going to go in the oven. So it's going to be quick, quick, quick. Yeah, I will. I will. Just 1 second. Sorry. Tickle. Okay. And you just kind of want to do a tablespoon and just plop it in there. Okay. And you can always come back if you get all 24 filled. Try and keep the goo contained within the pastry in the center of it. If it gets on the outside, it's going to stick to your paper and stuff. So that's why I find just a tablespoon is enough. I've tried to use it with a ladle and you end up with gook off the back end getting all over your tray. So I find it easier to contain with a big old tablespoon.
What about a pastry bag?
Pastry bag would do a fantastic job too. Just more things to wash. Oop, get in there. See, he tried to get in on the other side there. And then what it does is the brown sugars and the butter all melt together, and then that egg helps solidify the goo a little bit. In the pastry shell. It says filling the recipe when I was growing up with, and this is pretty much it. I think there was sometimes a small variation when you used corn syrup, but with a combination of brown sugar, not instead of brown sugar, but combined with. And probably where I was going to do with it, or say with this. It's okay. Oh, fill 2/3 full. There we go. Brain fart. Too many things going on in my brain. Okay, so there, and I have leftover goo in case I was a little heavy spooned on this one. I have leftover goo from the first batch, so I can add some in here as well. If I was a little bit heavy spooned with this one per se.
Use a disposable Ziploc bag.
Yeah, you could do that too, and just cut the tip of it in the corner. That's right.
And then toss it and wash it.
I've got a couple of wax covered pastry bags here. I got them as a Christmas gift quite a few years ago. They're around here somewhere. All right. We're getting there. You have to get your spatula out to help with the last wee bits. Okay. Get it here. Put that on that wax paper. Hope everybody liked the little Christmas panel yesterday. We had a lot of fun working on that. Hopefully nobody was too upset it wasn't the fox. You know, I know we did get a few thumbs down, so I'm like, whatever. I don't understand the thumbs down people. But I like the snowman's. I like the way it came out. And I got plans for the fox. He's not done with. I'm going to make a nice, pretty little couple of blocks. Some of my favorite blocks. Maybe that I've done within the past, you know, couple years. There's a few on my niece's quilt. There's Compass Rose. That was one of my favorites. I think that in the fox panel would be kind of cool. There's a few. There's a few of my favorite blocks. Do 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 do. All right, that was just enough to fill. There's actually a little bit left on the spoon here. Like I say, waste not, want not. Okay. Every wee little crumb. Don't leave anybody out of the party. All right. Get all the stickiness off my hands. And then they're going in the oven. And then it's just waiting for them to cook. But we got something to keep you entertained. Don't you worry. Besides me. I mean, because you can only handle so much of me. It's all crazy. All right, let's move some of this stuff. Okay. Oh, I can put that milk in the fridge and save that for my tea. Because I have a wee bit of milk in my tea. clean up my space here a bit. Actually, I can do that after we get these in the oven. Okay, so give them a little tap. See how they all look all filled up? Okay, nothing too much because they're going to be bubbling all over the place, okay? So they are very delicious. So there's the 2 of them. Just like that, exactly the same. Didn't do anything different between the trays. Put them in my lower oven. I put them this way and push them to the back. And then after 8 minutes, I switch them around. But that's just me. Oops. That was weird. Did you see that? Oh. All right. There we go. So 8.5 minutes, and we do a little flipperoni. And I'm going to clean up a little bit of my mess here, okay? Save the raisins for later. But we don't need any of this stuff. Okay, this and this. And the flour. Where'd the flour bag go? He got moved somewhere safe. Oh, it's okay. No worries, son. Okay, move this out of the way. And this, and this, right? Yeah. Okay. Just clean up a little bit more of my messes here. I got my oven mitt ready when I take them out. I don't want to walk away or put my oven mitt away anywhere. And then just recycle. Okay, I'll get a cloth and wipe that down. There we go. So it's all mixed. It's in the oven. And I think, actually, you know what? Let me give this a quick wipe down, and then we'll do mailbag, okay? We'll do mailbag. It was such a beautiful foggy morning. The other morning, it was like, and everything had crystallized off of itself, so everything was crystal and spiky. And I said to Pop, I said, "Look, we have Canadian cactus." He's like, or cacti, and he's like, he comes out, he's like, "What?" And he comes outside. We were headed out somewhere, and he sees the tree branch that had, like, you know, crystals on crystals on crystals and crystals, and it was really. He goes, "Oh yeah, neat. Don't usually get that here." All right, nice, clean space. Okay, that's with the wet cloth. Here's the dry cloth.
I noticed you're cooking barefoot. You sew that way too.
I do. Well, the house is nice and warm. I do. I sew barefoot. Sometimes I'll long arm in my Birkenstocks, and especially if I'm going to be there for a while, and I have a little, I guess, cushion pad, pressure cushion pad for my feet. And then with the Birkenstocks on with the cork, I can go for hours and hours and hours. So perfect. Here we go. Leading you into the picture. Okay, so for mail, we have, obviously, Pop's here. This is Pop, the infamous elusive Pop. He's wearing, of course, a beautiful shirt of the Mom and Pop Quilt Shop. I got one too. I'm not showing you my boobie. I'm just showing you my shirt. Got purple. It's beautiful. Bye, Becky. Okay, so we had a fantastic guild meeting the other night. Yes, I promised I said I'd share. And we played this really fun game. He's actually going to start on his cranberry sauce because he said he wanted to do something too. And I said, by all means, honey bunny, hop in the picture with me. Come on. So anyways, we had a fantastic guild meeting the other night at our Erin Village Quilters. And we played fabric bingo. Okay, so it says, raid your stash and find 25 fabrics and pin to your bingo card for a chance to win. Bring completed card to the December potluck and join in the fun. Okay, so there's a card. It's full of pins, but it's so simple and so easy. And they were drawing things like under the queue flowers, or an animal print or, you know, anything like that. And it was so fun. It was so fun. Wave to everybody. They were like,
hey,
nice
everybody.
to... Here,
I think you can hear me.
You can...
Okay.
I can share this with you now.
I get the mic
You
now.
get the mic.
Look out.
And there you go, sweetie pie.
See, now I'm in charge. Now what?
That's all you. Anyways, it was such fun. So
now you have to talk over here, don't you?
Well, they can hear me. I'm loud enough. They can hear me. Anyways,
hello, everybody.
Thought it was a great opportunity. Okay, so first mail here before Pop gets started. Okay, this one was from... I'm sorry. Steph? Yep, Steph from the UK. And sends me a rainbow binding, which I can't wait to use. Look at that. Isn't that just... I've never seen that before. I am just in awe. When Pop pulled it out of the package, I'm like, what is that? I thought it was like one of those... you know, things at the Olympics, you know, when they do the whole beat. I don't know. I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was like, you know, a fun birthday gift. But this is fantastic. I love it. And then a bunch of cute fabrics. Cute pinky fabrics. I love it. I'm going to make something with it. So thank you very much, Steph, for that. It was lovely. Absolutely lovely. Much, much appreciated. And then here is from Karina. I know I saw her in the chat there. Here is her... And look, she put the cutest little fabric on her envelope. Isn't that adorable? Little fabrics. It's so cute. Okay. So here's one of her blocks. Okay. Isn't that lovely? And then another one of her blocks. I love them both. They're very beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So thank you very much for that, Karina. And the cute little tulip farmer. Adorable. We love him. Thank you very much for your lovely letter, lovely note. We appreciate it. And we're glad you like what we do here. We're having a lot of fun, you know. Oh, can you grab the tulip man before he tries to escape? I think so. Should have done that the other way with the paper on the bottom.
It always comes out easier than it goes back in.
Isn't that the truth? Okay. And then these were from Wanda. We got a huge stack of these sheet protectors from Wanda, like massive, to take everybody's block. And this is her adorable block from Newfoundland. And she, hold on. Nope. Goes that way. Right, honey?
I don't know. It's backwards to me.
What's that?
That's the bottom, I believe.
Yeah. Here? So
yeah.
Goes that way?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
I believe. I might be wrong.
I'll have to go look on the map. It's such a tiny little island. I forget which way it lays. But anyways, and she put a tiny little red mark where she's located. I thought that was adorable. So thank you very much for that. Big hugs. Very big, big hugs. And this is, I think it was her homemade card.
Yes.
Pop and I kept trying to open the door. And it blows us away. We got quite a chuckle out of it. I'm still fighting with it. Yes, Wanda, thank you very much. Love it. It's fantastic. Totally fantastic. And this one here, very colorful wrap. What's up, honey?
Nothing. Just I'm being nosy.
You're being nosy?
Yeah.
Oh, and this one was from, I just want to make sure I get the name right before. Angie from Bristol, Virginia. Virginia, VA? Yeah, Virginia. So this is her 9 patch. Beautiful for the charity quilt. Love it. Love all those colors. It's beautiful. And then this is her little 9.5er for the everybody quilt. Love it. Beautiful colors. There we go. And then she brought these little bling bling pins. Love it. Can we put them in a pin cushion? And then this lovely stiletto she made me. Oh, hold on. That's why you were wearing the mitts. Hold on. Where are the mitts? Where are the mitts? I just want to change these around. That's all. Shush. I don't want to risk anything getting too crispy crittered. So I have a tendency to flip things, even the cookies. I like a nice even bake if at all possible. So I just kind of turn them around. Because I find all ovens are different. So I'm just
Which one did you want us to hold it up to, Mimi? Like which item?
Oh, what did I miss? Which one? Was it that? Was that easier to hold up to? The 9 patch? Okay. There we go. Sorry. Okay. Isn't that beautiful? Love those batiks. Love those colors. Here, and then we'll show the 9 and a half. Okay. And then I'll show you Wanda's, Pop said that was down. There we go, Wanda's Newfoundland. There we go. Beautiful, eh? Okay, thank you. We didn't know that. We were just trying to work it. Okay, so, and this beautiful stiletto. Isn't that lovely? I can't wait to use it. Thank you so much there, Miss Angie from Virginia. Very, and a lovely note too. She, you know, was lovely, lovely words. So thank you very, very much.
Where's the mini camera pointed?
The pot. Yep.
Good.
Yep. And nice. Yeah, you should be okay.
Okay.
Okay, just put those there. So thank you very much. Give me a birthday card and Christmas card. So we did open both of those. Okay. Oh, and she had a little snowman challenge. What was that all about? Japanese.
Yes, I read it.
Snowman challenge. Make a project using snowman parts included here. Oh, I have a little head and a ball. Okay, so there it says right there. And I'll show you the head and the ball. Okay. There it goes. Just want to make sure you can actually see it. Get a chance to read it. And then I got a little head of a snowman with like a little button and then like a little ball. It's adorable. Thank you very much. I'm gonna make something. Oh, I like the challenge. Apparently that was part of our little guild. That was awesome. Thank you very much. These are all, everybody's block is going to get a review on, that was just Christmas. Thank you, Tammy from Thompson, Connecticut for your Christmas card. That was lovely. Thank you very much. Everybody's going to get a envelope and time on camera because we're going to review all the blocks on Christmas Eve. I mean, New Year's Eve. Sorry, this is Christmas Eve. There we go. Is that lovely? Love those purple flowers. This is from, sorry, Cindy. Cindy is from Kentucky. There we go. Is it beautiful? Love purple. Love that purple. So lovely. And then this little tone on tone here has got little branches or little not feathers, but leaves and stuff on it. It's quite lovely. Quite lovely. So thank you very much. That was her 9 patch. Or sorry, yeah, her 9 patch. And then this was her 9 and a half. Lovely. Hello, Allison. Oh, I'm glad you enjoy us, folks. Yeah, the address is on the website. Okay. So that is the mail. It's all popped now.
It is?
It is.
Uh-oh.
Make your sauce, saucy man.
Well, it's not just the sauce. I think we have some announcements we wanted to make as well,
yes.
didn't we?
Go ahead. Announce away.
So, one of the things that was asked by Helly last week, and she's not able to be here today, but she wanted to have a group on Facebook for everybody to join. So, we do have a Facebook group now called the Mom and Pop Quilt Shop Mafia. If you've been watching for a while, you will have remembered that the Mafia comment came out on one of our live streams, and we've got some shirts also available in a merchandise store for you as well. So there's there's an iCard in the video, so you should be able to click on the iCard and you should be able to get through there. On Facebook, if you just search for the group, you should be able to request access to join it, and you should be good to go with all of the moderators that we've already brought into the channel as well. So you will have every opportunity to participate, upload your activities, and all of the fun stuff that that you could do. And here's one of the shirts that. Or the hoodies that you can get. I'm not sure if you can see it, but
Okay.
and that's the new logo for the Quilt Mafia. So click on the link if you're interested and take a look at it. She is the Mafia Dawn. Yes, absolutely. She's nothing but attitude too. So along with some of the things that we've been talking about and looking at doing as part of this channel, we've decided that we want to expand it again. Yep, Angie is definitely the enforcer, so everybody has to watch out.
Check my tarts.
So we're going to be expanding the channel to have another day live stream, and it's just going to be me. And I'm going to be doing computer work and showing everybody how to use computer software, specifically the Gamble software, as well as EQ8 to do some designing and things like that on the computer. So we're going to do some live streams on Thursdays. 5 p.m. Eastern is the expected start time. Depending on how work goes, we hope to meet that time every day, or every Thursday. So that's what the plan is. To give you guys some different ideas and things that you can do with your machines and some of the other things that I need to learn as well. So it'll be a good opportunity for us to learn together. I do have EQ7. I don't know whether I'm going to use it yet, but we probably could do some stuff in EQ7. I'm sure that everybody would like EQ7 and EQ8. So it's kind of cool. Okay, so are you gonna go have a nap now?
I like you taking over the show. It's good. I did my work. Crack-a-lackin'.
Awesome. So
Do you control the little camera?
No, I think it should be fine. Just look on my other screen, and you should be fine to see what's there.
We're fine.
EQ is electric quilter, and 7 is just the version number associated with it. So those are the two pieces of software that I'm currently familiar with, but definitely ask if there's a different piece of software you want me to take a look at. I can learn software fairly quickly. It's one of my many or few skills, depending on who you ask.
Many skills.
There we go. Okay.
Okay, they're not quite done, but this is why you always keep checking on them. I'm just going to give them another 2 minutes. Make sure you put the other half of the timer button on, or it's just going to 2 minutes going to be forever. We've learned that one, haven't we?
So was that all the announcements we wanted to give this time? Because I think we've got some more coming up, but I think that's it for today's announcements. Yeah.
I figured seeing you was like the Christmas gift itself.
That was the scary part.
He wouldn't let me wrap them.
She tried.
I was wrapping presents earlier. I came out with the roll and the tape, and he's like, "No way, lady."
So we're gonna start that in the new year. Might not be the first week, but it'll probably be the second week. So it should be interesting to get started. So no.
Okay.
I don't wear aprons.
Punk.
Until I sew my own, I guess. And then I have to learn to wear the apron. So I have a recipe here for cranberry sauce that we've not ever used before. So we're going to try it this year. Cranberry sauce for us is like candy. Because we have it with Christmas, with chicken, with turkey, with just about everything. So
it's good with ham too.
It's good with ham. It's good with just about anything. It's candy.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
It is.
So we got a big bag of these cranberries from Costco, and so we're gonna just try and throw everything into a pot and see what we can make. So yeah. So the recipe that is here calls for actually half the amount of what we've got. So I'm not sure where Yeah. There we go. Oh, wrong way. Wrong
You
way.
used to give me a hard
There we
time.
go. So that's double the amount. So we're doing two times the batch size here for this.
Another minute.
Uh-oh. Angie's coming back? What?
Is she? Yay!
Okay, I guess we'll allow it. So the recipe starts off with 4 cups of fresh cranberries, which these are relatively fresh. 3/4 of a cup of apple juice, which we didn't have any apple juice, so we're making our own stuff up. This is actually apple cider, so it should be interesting. And then we have half a cup and a half, sorry, of packed brown sugar. What we're gonna do today is a mix of 2. So over here, yeah, see, getting this somewhere close.
The other side of the pot.
Here, we'll just put it in the pot.
It's so much crisper on your monitor than it is on this one. Like,
yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Well, just saying. Just saying, man.
Okay, so ultimately that's all there is to this recipe is just sugar, cranberries, and the apple juice. So we're gonna put the apple juice in to the pot.
Mind yourself, sweetie.
Okay, and of course the star of the show comes out.
There.
And we have to deal with them. We're also gonna add a little surprise to this, and what that is some frozen raspberries that are no longer frozen because, you know. I thought this was my part of the show.
I'm sorry, I'm almost done. It's your show.
So frozen raspberries in with the cranberries into the pot.
Probably should have put dinner in there.
It's not my fault.
Did we think of dinner?
Nope.
Nope. We didn't think of dinner. Who's making dinner?
And who's bringing it over?
Who's bringing it over?
So then, like, this is the easiest type of cooking there is. There we go. In that goes. Was this for me? That's lovely. Thank you.
Yeah, it was just your spoon.
So we don't know how this is going to work from the microphone. So just let us know if this is horrible, volume-wise.
And we'll open up the window instead. You got everything in the pot?
Everything's in the pot.
Everything's in the pot.
Everybody gets in the big pot. Now we wait.
Lasagna! Yummy! I'll take lasagna.
So we're just going to mix everything up here.
I bet you did already, Karina. What did you have for dinner, though? What did you have for Christmas Eve dinner? Do you guys have any special traditions or anything like that? Can still hear? It's not too bad? I said to him as we were setting up, I'm like, ooh, what about the fan? Because it's a gas stove. But I said we can always open up the window, too, if it's okay. Pumpkin cheesecake? Mmm, yummy, Lisa. Ham tomorrow. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Come on over. We're having yummy leftovers. I mean, prime rib. Oh, you guys are making me really hungry. We did not think about dinner because we were already making tarts and stuff. Cranberry sauce. That's all we're having.
We got dinner tomorrow prepared.
Yeah, we got the turkey in the fridge already and ready to go. Mimosa. Biscuits, gravy, egg quiche, sliced tomatoes. Oh, that sounds delicious, Mimi.
Mmm.
I like Chinese. Oh, I like Chinese. I like chicken balls. Chicken balls and like that noodle, the big noodle chow mein sort of thing. Not chow mein, Shanghai or something. I don't know, whatever.
Noodles.
We're going to Mom's. Poor Mom has 12 of us. That's fantastic. I like big dinners like that. It's good fun. That's usually when food fights happen. It wasn't very good, Karina, your Chinese food? I thought you were saying like nasty. Was it nasty? Ham, steak, stuffing, and green beans. Yummy! Lo mein. There we go. Thanks, Loretta. I knew it was something else, not chow mein. It was lo mein. Thank you. Portuguese sweetbread and mock Olive Garden chicken gnocchi soup. that it? Mmm. Yummy. I love Portuguese pork buns. Those are delicious. No, that is fat boys. White beans and ham for Tuesday. Oh, is that like a traditional Boxing Day thing? Well, I guess is it only Canadians that think of it as Boxing Day? Like, and you know, it's not like we're all boxing it out on Boxing Day. It makes me wonder if it's just Canadians or is it Americans too? And is it like some sort of a family tradition? Because here it's just like go shopping with all the crazy nut jobbies, and I'd rather not. So. Boxing Day in the UK too? Oh, good. Okay. Cranberry fluff? We have a fantastic turkey that we do, and I have to say, I credit. Hopefully, you guys can hear me okay. I talk loud enough. From American
Test Kitchen.
America's Test Kitchen. We found it probably 3 years ago, and I think we were doing it for Thanksgiving, and It was fantastic. Oh, is there a way to zoom in with the other camera, or can I zoom in with this one? Because I really want to see what you're doing in the pot.
We can try and move it around.
Do you want me to stir and you go twiddle?
Yep.
Okay. Pop knows his computer better than I do, so we're going to try and see if we can get you a close-up on here while I'll stir. So what we're going to do is we're hoping to have all these cranberries pop. And they will with the heat, and they'll let their good pectin and goodness all kind of flow out and break down, and sometimes you can actually hear them pop. We've made, I think we lived in British Columbia at the time, and we had a bunch of Pop's co-workers from BC Tel at the time come over for like a Christmas shindiggy, and we made rum, cranberry. Oh, it's snowing! Oh, how fantastic!
Ow.
Sorry, sweetheart. My fat butt's in the way.
No.
We made a cranberry rum, and we just heated it up on the stove and popped the cranberries in it. It was like a nice rum. Was it brandy? I don't know what the heck it was, but anyways, it was a hit. Everybody loved it. We had everybody in the neighborhood coming over because in British Columbia, while we were in Langley, BC, it was very mild come Christmas Eve and come Christmas time. So. If anything, you had rain. If you were lucky to have, a white Christmas, but it was just better? Everybody was a hit. Oh, that's fantastic, honey. That's great.
There we go.
Thank you. I was just stirring.
That's all we do.
Okay,
we just wait right now.
Okay.
They'll soften up, and they've just started. There's a few on the bottom that have started to pop.
I can smell them. It's beautiful smell. Pork, sauerkraut, hot dogs for New Year's. Corn casserole. What's in a corn casserole, Donna? What is in a corn casserole? Going to put your candy juice over your tarts?
No.
That would be interesting, though.
We'll discuss it later.
Cooking for 28 people? Oh,
wow.
I don't think I've ever cooked for that many. The most would be 8. At Mom's house?
Not quite true. We've done things for family events and stuff where we've cooked for a lot of people.
Yeah, well, we've cooked for like 50 or 60 people, but I meant, like, as in for sit-down dinner, I think the biggest we've ever had is at my mom's house.
Yeah, about 10.
Calgary with my sister Elizabeth and her girls. That's a lot. That's a lot to take on. That's a lot of dishes there, Kathy.
Paper plates.
Paper plates, yep. Stuffed cabbage. I wish I liked cooked cabbage. Maybe I'll try it again. It's been a very, very long time since I've had cooked cabbage, so I think I'll give it a try. Cream corn, whole corn, butter, muffin mix, and sour cream. Oh, I'm there. I'm there with you. Yeah, we're all with you there, Kathy. Heather, we're cheering you on. Light snow, I may have 2 sons helping me cook. They are wonderful at chopping onions and bake. Yeah, thank goodness. You've got help. Corn casserole. I'm going to have to make myself some sort of corn casserole. It is starting to snow here. It is quite lovely. We are expected to get 10 centimeters tonight. So Santa's...
About 5 inches.
Which about 5 inches. And then we're to get another dump. I think it was Boxing Day. or the 28th, or it was Boxing Day and the 28th. We're supposed to get another bit. Love cooked cabbage with potatoes. Potatoes. It's the way you say it, right, Pat? Potatoes. Actually, Pat gave me, and I will never ever forget this. She gave me a way to how to say her last name. It says when two vowels, right? When two vowels go a walking, the second one does the talking. And I will never ever forget that. And it has been so helpful since she said that to me, or said that and I read it. It has helped me form a couple of other people's names that I have stuttered or started or stalled on before, and now I can get them. So thank you very much for that, Pat. Very, very helpful. Oh, enjoying the mild weather? Only in German, though. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. But it's very helpful. It really is. It's a very helpful little saying, and it's stuck with me ever since I read it. Actually, Pop always does the turkey. Not always. I mean, I help with
99%.
him. But we do...
99%.
99% of the time, Pop does the turkey. There was one year he was very ill and couldn't, so I cooked the turkey the best I could. It was not nearly to his perfection or what he does, but it always tastes better when somebody else makes it anyways, doesn't it? But we do from the the American Test Kitchen, not the Canadian Test Kitchen. Maybe that's where we can be. The Canadian Test Kitchen!
More work.
More work. Yeah, that would be kind of cool. Anyways, it's a fantastic recipe. It's got great stuffing that you do. We've never ever been huge stuffing fans. I love the stuff that my mom made when I was growing up, but anybody paled in comparison to when and when you move away from home, So we literally did without stuffing for like a decade and a half almost. We never had stuffing. We just didn't like the way it turned out. So we were watching American's Test Kitchen one day, and they were doing a turkey episode, and we were looking at each other going, I think this sounds good. And he's like, yeah. So we decided to do it. You have to sign up for their email service, don't you, or something like that?
No, you actually have to sign up for their service.
You actually have to sign up for their service to actually get the recipe, but it is really, really good. You actually separate the legs and the wing from the breast, cook the breast, and then the legs, and then the stuffing gets tucked underneath, and it's really good. We've loved it ever since we found it 3 years ago.
I think it's called an updated version of Julia Child's recipe for doing turkey, and it's just amazing. Apparently the boss has left, so we can do whatever we want now.
Party! Take the
You didn't see this. Didn't happen. Or I'll have to get the enforcer sicked on you.
She's coming soon. Papa's doing a fantastic job. Start the cranberries while you wait.
Eat it. I might get it, like, these are messy at the best of times.
Sometimes.
Actually, this one's pretty good.
Is it?
Yeah.
They kind of burnt up a little bit.
Yeah.
You gotta let them chill. Gotta let them chill all the way.
Yep, sort of. So you can see.
It's a little goo.
There's a little bit. No, it's pretty good.
Oh, there we go.
There's. So that stuff coming out there right now is just pure sugar and butter. So rather than waste it.
I love the stuffing that we've come up with, or like America's Test Kitchen has come up with their cat lady. It's really good. It's got dried cranberries, it's got the sage, it's got the onions, it's got the celery and the dried cranberries, and then you mix it with a couple of eggs, and it's really, really good. We really like it, and I even eat it just on its own, and I've never, ever been known to eat stuffing on its own, ever. So, ever.
Because you cook the turkey on top of the stuffing rather than in the stuffing, everything goes down from the turkey into the stuffing. And it's just phenomenal. These berries just do not want to pop today.
Well, I knew it would take a little while. That's what I thought maybe when they went into the oven, they should have started. That's okay.
Yeah, we'll give it a little more heat.
Give it a little more heat. How long does it actually have to boil for, Pop?
It's supposed to boil, supposed to come to a boil and then boil for 20 minutes.
Boil for 20 minutes? Okay.
Yeah.
And that helps release all the pectin from the cranberries itself, which is a natural pectin.
Exactly.
Which we prefer to have for us anyways than an artificial one. And it gelifies and it's delicious. There's nothing better than homemade no matter what you try to do.
And yes, there is celery in the stuffing that we make.
Oh, yeah, I did say celery in it.
Yep.
Maybe I missed it. I may have missed it. So Santa will be happy. We have butter tarts for Santa.
There's a couple days of butter tarts here.
I love the animation around the outside. Good job there, Munchkin.
Yeah, I don't think he's watching.
You don't think he's watching?
Nope.
No. You don't want to be teased with butter tarts?
No, I think it's more along the lines of he's the bandwidth issues that we were having last stream.
Oh, okay.
So we're trying to reduce the amount of problems. So what we're starting to get, if I can actually pick it out here.
Merry Christmas, Kathy.
Yes, Merry Christmas.
Keep quilting and keep cooking. Oh, we will.
So I don't know whether you can see this, but you can start to see that the cranberries are starting to break and soften up. So it's not going to be long now.
Oh,
there you go.
Yeah, there we go. It's like almost like popcorn, but not quite.
Yeah.
You know. But they do pop. You can hear them because the moisture gets so contained within that skin of cranberry that it just pops and releases the juice and goodness from the cranberry center itself.
Absolutely everything does taste better with bacon.
Bacon.
I wonder if we put bacon in here, what that would go like.
Candy bacon?
Candy
cranberry bacon.
Wow, I think we're coming up with something new. So it's now coming up to a fast boil. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. So I don't want it to burn on the bottom. This is a lovely cast iron pot that Bella gifted to Laura Lynn.
For my birthday?
For her birthday, yeah.
This is the second time it's been used.
You can start to see all the foaming around the top here, and that's what's going to make all the pectins, or that is part of all the pectins, and it's coming along quite nicely. No, it needs to be there.
It looks good. Now, could you imagine blueberries, a bit of blueberries in with this too? That little sweetness of blueberry and that tartness of the cranberry?
Well, that's why we put the raspberries in, just to give it...
raspberries in already?
Yep, everybody in the pot.
Everybody in the pot!
Nobody get left out of the pool.
Oh, sugar bacon.
Mm-hmm.
Do you strain it or just use it whole cranberry sauce?
Bacon jam. Now that's just crazy. Bacon
we use it
jam.
as a whole. We don't strain it.
Ow.
Oops. All right.
One popped and
Gotcha. Tried to get pop.
Cooking. I'm not sure cooking is the way we're gonna go with the channel, but yeah, it's kind of dangerous. I want danger pay. We'll take food in butter tarts.
We're very excited for Christmas, and we wish everybody a very, very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And, you'll see us on Long Arm Wednesday. We'll still be here. You'll see us for a weekend project.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll do everybody's block review for New Year's Eve. Not Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve. This is Christmas Eve.
So did you want to maybe come closer so that they could hear you easily?
Yeah, I'm sure they can.
Can they hear you? Can you hear her?
They don't kid about bacon here in the South.
Well, we're in the North. We don't kid about bacon here. So now it's come to its complete boil, and you can see that it's all nice and coming apart. It's all All the berries are starting to break down now. It's almost ready.
It's 20 minutes though, right?
Yeah.
So it's only been a couple minutes. So.
A couple. A couple by whose count?
Should we put a timer on? What, 10 minutes?
Sure, okay. That sounds about
minutes.
Right. 10 minutes. She does project, yes.
See, I got a big mouth. Take away from your camera space.
My camera space? Well, come stand beside me. There we go. See, you can stand on the other side. You can even stand at the end. Do you have a while as crossing guard? Do you have a while as a crossing guard? Isn't it?
Whistle.
Whistle.
Yeah.
As a crossing guard.
So
whistle.
That's a while. Even with my good blurry vision. Yeah. Yes, I do. Only this year, though. I never actually had a whistle before, and I've actually had to use it twice, and I'm glad I had it. And I thought previously in the years past, because this is my ninth year doing crossing guard, that I probably could have used a whistle in the past quite a few times. You know, it's either get the kids' attention or drivers' attentions. This week it was been like horrible for people in paying attention and driving. It was probably about 2 weeks ago. I had a very close call. He, for some reason, didn't see me. And I'm like, how can you miss me? I'm not a small chicken. Hello. And I have a big orange coat. And I was wearing my big hat. And, you know, like, good gravy. So, like, you know, I came home and hugged everybody really super tight. So, you know, and at that point, the whistle would not have helped me at that point in time, unfortunately. I did not see it coming. I know I saw the vehicle at the top of the hill. He had plenty of time to stop. For some reason, he did not. So, and it was, you know, hey, those are the moments. And this week was very crazy. Seemed everybody was in a rush to get everywhere, nowhere fast. And we've had some nasty weather. And some foggy mornings, and you know, it's very poor visibility. And what drives me crazy is when the driver's going down the road, even though they just pulled out of their own driveway, they've got snow all over the hood of their car. It's all over the hood. It's all over the top. It's all over, you know, it's everywhere. And you got to brush that stuff off. It's illegal if you don't. You know, and we had quite a bit. So, and it's a visibility thing. There's kids trying to cross down the side of the street, so, or, you know, or coming down the sidewalk, but I don't know. My pet peeves. The little pet peeves.
Get bright orange clothing so they see you be easier?
I have reflective, big, bright red and orange coat, like it's yellow. It's red and orange and yellow. Coat with reflection. Sometimes they're just so focused on what they got to do, they don't care that they're in a school zone. They don't care that they're only in a 40-kilometer-an-hour zone at all. This whole village, from top to bottom, is only 40 kilometers. So, I don't know. I don't have my block. Oh, we have plenty of time. We have plenty of time. We're not gonna. Are you gonna bring it when you come? Oh, I'll help you sew it. If Mike doesn't have time, I'll help sew it.
No, make Mike sew it. It's almost done. It's very close. Unfortunately, the timer doesn't just display, so
it's getting there.
It's almost done. You can see almost all of the berries are now broken.
Call them bounties.
Well,
actually,
definitely.
I've got quite a few friends. Actually, we had an incident the other day. I guess it was Wednesday morning. I had a big, huge 18-wheeler fully loaded. Like he must have been doing, we say $120, which means 120 kilometers an hour, 140 or 170 or whatever. Anyways, there was lots of incidences where other people in the area had actually almost physically clocked him at doing 140. Okay, 140 in a 40 zone. Okay, so I actually heard him and felt him driving my way before I even saw him. And when he came up over the hill, and it's not even a big hill, it's a tiny, tiny little hill, like a little out by the school, by the feed mill. Angie knows it. There's probably about half a dozen people in the chat that know what I'm talking about. And I said, I'd seen him, and I'm like this, like, slow down. It's a 40 zone, like 40, like slow down. And he just gave me some sign language and literally just gunned even faster. So I had a couple of vehicles were actually coming past me on this way. He was actually going up the hill in the other direction. So one truck, he'd actually turned around at the feed mill and said, did you happen to check the name of that truck? I said, no, he was too dirty and going too fast. I couldn't even see it. So he followed it up to the gravel pit, went to report it, but apparently there was somebody else there who was already reporting this truck for trying to pass her on a 2-lane, like it's a 1-lane way. Like, there's no way for this big semi to pass. Like, it's dangerous driving, I tell you. And, you know, people joke, say, oh, crossing guard's an easy job. Well, I'm sorry, but I do take my life into my hands every single day, you know, every day that I'm out there. And you get drivers who just blatantly ignore you and do not care for the 40 zone, you know. And I even called the police. Actually, I had the driver who said to me, hey, did you happen to catch that truck? And I said, no, I did not, but, you know, whatever. He goes, oh, I'm going to call the cops. And I said, well, let them know, you know, I saw it. I know when it was speeding. I tried to control it, but he, you know, blatantly said, forget it, you know. And that's what some of them do. They just put her on past you. They don't give a hoot.
So this is pretty much done.
That looks beautiful, darling.
Yeah. It's also very thick.
It smells delicious.
Smells amazing. So
We've got 3 minutes left, so
we can quit it, can we?
We can quit that.
So yeah, this is pretty much done. I think I'm happy with it.
These are our tarts that you saw me make. How they turned out. Okay.
There you go.
There we go. Beautiful. Fantastic, darling. Okay.
Yeah. So now this just goes and you let it cool on the counter for a little bit, and then throw it into the fridge, and it will congeal and become into the cranberry sauce that you've always wanted.
Bye, Lisa. Merry Christmas. She's leaving.
So.
Are we done?
We're done.
We're done?
We're done.
Well, thanks for spending Christmas Eve with us. We're really happy you did. And thanks for Pot for coming into the quilt shop and helping me. More like the kitchen quilt shop. The workshop. And we wish you both, everybody.
All 2 of you.
All 2 of you that are watching. 6,700 of you. A very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And we will see you on Long Arm Wednesday, where we're going to quilt up the snowman window panel that I did on yesterday's video. So we all warm your hearts. Oh, you warm our heart too. We really appreciate you guys hanging out with us and sticking it out and loving Pop and I and Munchkin and all that we do here at the quilt shop. And we appreciate and love every single one of you. So thank you very much. And we will see you on Long Arm Wednesday.
I got to go over there.
No. You're mine. I'll stir your sauce.
You stir my sauce.
I'll stir your sauce till it cools down. This looks so good. Yummy. It smells delicious because you can smell that little bit of raspberry. Have a fantastic Christmas, everybody. And if we miss you next week, have a fantastic New Year. And we will see you in 2018, where we have many, many plans and big things going on. And we hope you stick it out with us. And we couldn't be here without you guys. So thank you very, very much. Big hugs and loves from the Mom and Pop Quilt Shop. Very, very Merry Christmas. Okay? See you.